Well, hello and welcome to the second episode of Paul's Treehouse. My name is Paul Siegel, and I woke up this morning thinking to talk a little bit about honesty. And it came up because I'm a dad, and when you raise kids, you really realize how unnatural it is to tell the truth. And I was thinking about why that is, and why humans tend to default to not telling the truth, especially when it involves admitting that you're wrong about something, or that you did something that you think you'll get punished for, or that you're going to disappoint somebody for. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that honesty is not a natural trait. I think as a human virtue, it's probably the most fundamental, but it's not natural to nature. I mean, nature is replete with deception. You see this through all the evolutionary traits that animals have developed, from the ability to camouflage, the ability to change yourself, change the posture, or make it look like you're a predator even though you're not. A classic example is the wings of the butterfly. You know, they have these round patterns that fool birds into thinking they're eyes, big eyes staring back at them, and it makes them hesitate. Even during a hunt, watching a lion or a tiger, it's not getting up above the grass and waving and saying, "Hey, I'm here coming to eat you." You know, it's sneaking its way there. You know, it knows that what it's doing, the other doesn't want it to do, and so it's trying to get there as quietly as it can. You know, it's being deceptive. Nature is full of these deceptions, from the fruits and the poisons that plants have, to these examples in mammals. And so, of course, lying would be very natural and normal for humans to do as well. It's hardwired. It's written in our DNA, in our code, in our evolutionary code. And so, where does honesty come from? It's truly a human virtue. And I think religious people may think that it comes from sort of divine inspiration. Evolutionary theorists would probably say that it comes from humans gaining an advantage evolutionarily because they could collaborate in groups. Now, there's definitely a lot of study about this, that it's only when humans started to group into clans and into tribes that they were able to have the advantage over major predators. And you really can't collaborate. You can't really be part of a community, part of a family, without honesty being a fundamental feature. And so there's huge evolutionary advantages to honesty when you're working as a member of a group. Now, we're all, as humans, pretty much members of groups unless you become a nomad and just go off into the mountains, in which case there is no need to be honest. In fact, being dishonest is perfectly fine, because you're going to have to catch those fish one way or another. You're not gonna say, "Hey, come over here, be my pet." You're going to actually try to catch them without them knowing it. And so, anyway, I was thinking about this because I see it in my kids. And some advice that I would give to other parents out there on how you can teach kids to be honest is to obviously be honest yourself, especially when time comes for you to admit that you did something wrong. And let's face it, as a parent, you're always going to do something wrong. You know, your kids don't come out with an instruction manual. You know, and so you're going to make mistakes. And when the mistakes are obvious, when they're painful to your kids, it's really important to seize that moment and apologize. You know, and admit that, "Hey, I was wrong here. I'm sorry." That in and of itself is really going to teach your kids to understand that it's okay to have made a mistake, and it's okay to apologize. And if there's no, while yes, it's shameful, there's no shame in it. in admitting that you're wrong when you're wrong. Now, you definitely should never admit you're wrong just to placate someone's feelings. If you're not wrong, there's no need to apologize. But if you really did do something wrong, it's important to admit so. And that'll coach your kids into realizing, hey, it's okay. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to never make mistakes. And my parent has given me a template and a way in which to learn how to apologize and admit that I did something wrong and take responsibility for it. I think humans are infamous these days for not wanting to take responsibility for the results in their own life. And I think a lot of it comes from a lack of honesty, a lack of being able to admit when you've done something wrong. There's an enormous amount of pride that's just almost been encouraged in this culture that we live in. And so I thought that was an important message to send out to the world. If you agree, let me know what you think in the comments. If you disagree, let me know what you think as well. Maybe you have another way in which you can teach your kids about honesty, or perhaps you don't believe in honesty. Maybe you have a case for why being dishonest is better to being honest. I'd love to hear your thoughts, whatever they are. Just leave them in the comments. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.